It is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! As we get to continue on this YCS lockdown tournament with Orcust versus Blackwings. As Orcust is going to start off with Upstart Goblin finding themselves into a Scrap Recycler. Using the effect of Scrap Recycler, they're going to send a Mecha Phantom Beast or Lion from the deck to the graveyard. They're going to special summon a token to their side of the field using both the token and the Scrap Recycler for a link, and to Scrap Wyvern. Now that triggers Scrap Wyvern's effect, destroying and summoning the Scrap Recycler to be able to special summon a Scrap monster from the deck to the side of the field. It's going to find itself into a Scrap Golem. Unfortunately, Wyvern has to destroy itself, but Golem can find a Scrap Recycler back to the side of the field. Now it looks like it's going to be sending World Legacy World 1 to the graveyard using its effect to special summon another World Legacy World 1 from the hand to the side of the field. How many times have you guys seen that effect activate? Now both the Golem and the Recycler will be used for a link into IP Masquerena, and Monster Reborn will be used on the Scrap Golem, special summoning itself back to the side of the field to be able to bring out a Scrap Recycler. Whoa! It looks like a Scrap Recycler is going to send the Orcust Nightmare. This deck will go full combo plus, showing you one of the most deadliest boards that Orcust has up its sleeve. Using both World Legacy World 1 and the Scrap Golem, those two monsters will be used into a link into Lib World Keyblade Master, using her effect not to set the World Legacy Succession. You don't need an additional special summon. They're going to set World Legacy Succession? No, that's not the right card. World Legacy Sorrow face down to the side of the field. Following up, using Orcust Nightmare to be able to send an Orcust symbol skeleton from the deck to the graveyard. This deck has all of its plays wrapped up in a little bun. Using the effect of World Legacy World 1, banishing itself to be able to special summon the Orcust Nightmare to the side of the field. They'll use both of those monsters for a link summon into Galtea. Now using the effect of Galtea to set and activate the Orchestrated Babel, the deck is now going to finish up by using the Orcust symbol skeleton to summon the Nightmare to special summon Dengirsu, and then link off back into the Galtea, co-linking the IP and the Galtea, making sure the World Legacy Sorrow is online. Orcust setting up with a huge board. This is going to be amazing. They have the disruption of IP Masquerena on the field. They also have the ability to set another Orcust spell or trap card to their side of the field on their opponent's turn after they use the Dengirsu to disrupt the opponent. And then they have Lib, which allows you to disrupt the opponent because it was properly link summoned. It's going to be really hard for the Blackwing strategy to be able to overcome this, but let's see what exactly it is they has, as Blackwing players don't give up, and I expect this specific strategy to be an indication of the Blackwing community. The crazy thing about this is that while this board is amazing, it's not unbreakable, as Blackwing is going to start off with Infinite Impermanence to negate the IP Masquerena. This is going to give the Orcust strategy a tough decision to make. Do they use the IP Masquerena, which I think would be the suboptimal play? Depending on what monster they link summon, it's not going to be worth it, but the monsters they have to give up, which means they have to give up critical effects like Galtea or the Lib. Or they could just use their World Legacy Sorrow face down, which this is kind of what it's designated for, and not have to give up any of their link spacage, and still have a Galtea that can't be destroyed by battle while it is linked. So they're definitely thinking about their correct decision. Topologic Bomber? Not Topologic. Topologic Bomber could be summoned. That's not the card I was looking for, but it could work. But they're going to go ahead and use World Legacy Sorrow to negate the Infinite Impermanence. Blackwing is going to have to go through this a different route. Following up, Black Whirlwind is going to be activated. That's going to be the card that they probably really want to get through, as a Gale of the Whirlwind is going to be normal summon. Blackwing is ready for some serious plays. Speaking of serious plays, I know what you guys are wondering. The newbies are probably trying to figure out what exactly is the Lockdown Tournament. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Lockdown Tournament is a duel or a tournament of some of the decks that you guys have decided to go against each other in a 16-man bracket. It is completely amazing how the community has banded together, how the community is on my Discord about this YCS Lockdown Tournament. Everyone is excited to see some of the hottest decks. So for the people that want to see or want to be a part of the community, not only can you check out the YCS Lockdown Tournament playlist on the front of my channel to see all of the games, but you also get to see some really cool stuff like statistics and whatnot if you join the Discord. While I'm also here, I want to give a mad shout out to all of my judges, my editors, and players. It takes a lot, and when I mean a lot of manpower, a freak ton of manpower to get a game like this done. Especially when we're on a schedule. We upload every Tuesday and weekends. Now I know that was a lot of information, so I'm gonna back away from the information portion and get you guys right into the game. Black Whirlwind is gonna search a Harmattan from the deck to the hand, and Blackwings are gonna be looking into some plays. Now Harmattan can special summon itself to the side of the field. It can turn itself into a level 5, making a Synchro for 8, but I can't think of a single Synchro 8 that would help alleviate this board. Maybe well, Borreload Savage Dragon wouldn't work as there's no Link monsters in Blackwing's graveyard. Blackwing is still a Synchro-centric deck to its heart, so you want to figure out the best Synchros. Harmattan the Dust is going to be special summoned using its effect to copy the Gale, and it looks like that might be what they may want to do is special summon that level wing Synchro. I want you guys to post down below in the comment section not only which deck do you think will win. We'll have a percentage in just a second, but what would be a great play? I mean, obviously you guys think that decks sometimes have 50 card extra decks, so I want to see what would have been the best possible Synchro monster to summon to break this board. Orcust does follow up with using Orcust Symbol Skeleton to be able to special summon that Dingirsu to the side of the field, but Blackwings have the Cold by the Grave, not necessarily negating the Orcust Symbol Skeleton. They're going to negate the Dingirsu and prevent it from being used on the future turn. Blackwing the Orochi Squall will be special summoned. It looks like they're going to Synchro into 6 instead. This is going to be pretty exciting seeing what Blackwing is going to follow up, but more importantly, you guys get to see what my boy Jack has been working with in the shop. I introduced to you guys the new way that these live duels will introduce Synchro summoning, as the monsters of both Harmattan and Squall will be used for a summon into Blackwing Nathung. Now Nathung is going to be a pretty critical juncture to the strategy as it does grant an additional normal summon. Scrap Orcust, or Orcust should actually just go ahead and link right now into a Nightmare Unicorn to be able to get rid of the opponent's board, but it looks like they're going to play the patient game. Blackwings may not have that additional monster to summon, but they do now when they activate the effects of Creeping Darkness. Creeping Darkness not only allows them to banish dark monsters from their graveyard, it allows them to search a level 4 monster from their deck to their hand. Chris, Oster, Bora are all level 4 monsters, with Oster being able to gain the advantage of special summoning said banished monsters. I know with this type of spite, you guys are probably wondering, where are these deck profiles, ladies and gentlemen? And it's quite simple. All of these deck profiles will be on Patreon, ladies and gentlemen. And just because you are not a Patreon doesn't mean you can't eventually view the profile. These are timed exclusive, meaning that Patreon fans will be able to see them, or members will be able to see them immediately. But over time, these profiles will be viewable to the public. So even if you can't support, don't worry, we got you covered. As Creeping Darkness will find its way into Chris, that's actually an excellent choice, because if Orcust does decide to get rid of the Black Whirlwind instead of the Gale, they can still follow up with Chris and proceed to make some more plays. Orcust definitely thinking about its next move. I think the correct move is to use IP Masquerader right here. You also can use Galtea's effect if you so choose to set a card face down, and you can use the Galtea's material, but you know the Lib has to be the material of the card of choice that you want to use. I think they're going to go ahead and use the effect of IP and the Lib, linking both of those monsters together to be able to special summon Nightmare Unicorn. Now both Lib and Nightmare Unicorn's effect will activate since Lib was, linked off. Linked monster was linked off. It'll be able to return a card. It looks like Nightmare Unicorn is going to return the Black Whirlwind, and the Lib is going to return the Nathung. This is a pretty good spot for Blackwing, as while they don't have the Black Whirlwind to continuously gain additional searches and overwhelm the opponent, they still have a Blackwing monster on their side of the field so Chris can follow up. The only genuine unfortunate thing about this particular situation is that looking at the current deck list of Blackwings, they don't run Hawkjoe. And Hawkjoe would be perfect for getting rid of this board. As, actually no, Hawkjoe does not matter, and the Thung was returned to the extra deck. Oh man. So I guess Hawkjoe doesn't serve the purpose that it should. There's no Synchro monster into the graveyard, but they still can make Rirakiri to attack over the Nightmare Unicorn. Now again, attacking over the Galtea would probably be the best thing to do, but unfortunately Galtea is linked. And while she is linked, she can't be destroyed by battle. So Blackwing's definitely thinking about their next move. They're gonna have to get over this board somehow. No additional cards in their hand. They've used all their resources. That Black Whirlwind was important as who knows what. They're gonna Synchro summon with both Chris and the Gale. They're gonna make Rirakiri the Rain Shower to their side of the field. And unfortunately, Rirakiri is able to destroy additional monsters on the side of the field, but it's up to the number of other Blackwing monsters on your side of the field. So very unfortunate for Blackwing. They're not able to gain the effect to break the board completely, but I don't think they've done a terrible job passing it back to Scrap Orcust. Before they can get to their draw, they want to use the effect of Galtea to shuffle in a banished machine monster. This time around, it is going to be the Dingirsu to be able to set a Orcust card to their side of the field. One can assume it would be the Crescendo, even though Orcust Return would be a great card. Crescendo makes more sense, as if there was a response that Blackwings did have, or if they couldn't go for game at this point in time, then they have a free negation that can get them a search at the same time. Following up, it looks like Orcust isn't done playing on Blackwing's turn. They're going to use the effect of Orcust Nightmare to be able to send a monster from the deck to the graveyard. That is going to be the Orochi. So Orochi is going to use its effect on the opponent's in phase as well, prompting Blackwings to shuffle Orcust's deck because obviously randomized. And now they're going to manage 8 cards off the top of their deck. That's going to allow him to summon that Orochi to the side of the field. The board was not really broken. It just had to reinvent itself by summoning other monsters. Scrap Orcust now having Gizmic on their side of the field as well as the Galtea. They're going to use the effect of Gizmic, which does not banish from the main deck. It banishes from the extra deck. A little blunder by Orcust. They'll be able to destroy the Rirakiri without having to go into their battle phase. I don't think I've ever seen that effect being used. Like, it's seldom that I see that effect of Orochi being used. It does exist. So, bye-bye Rirakiri, as now Blackwings is completely wide open for an assault. Armageddon Knight is going to be normal summoned to the side of the field, using its effect to send an Orcust Symbol Skeleton from the deck to the graveyard. And now, or no, the Orcust Nightmare from the deck to the graveyard, and Nightmare can use this effect to give a monster an attack boost. Nightmare is going to use this effect. It's going to target the Orochi and give it an additional attack bonus. That's going to be pretty important for when you want to take down 9,000 of your opponent's life points. Now the deck is completely locked in the dark, says World Legacy World 1 will special summon the Nightmare to the side of the field. It looks like the strategy is going to have enough resources to be able to go for game. Orcust Symbol Skeleton to be able to banish the special summon Galtea back to the side of the field. Dingirsu is going to follow up. It shouldn't be able to activate its effects to be able to attach, but that's not the case, as Orcust is now going to be able to link summon. Not that it really matters. It's going to use the Galtea, maybe, the Orcust Nightmare, and the Armageddon Knight for a Pearl Sword Dragon, so it does not matter that Dingirsu attached the Symbol Skeleton. That is going to be game. Blackwing showing off how valiant it could be, but Orcust having a little bit too much power. Which one of these strategies will win in game 2? I want to show you guys a terribly powerful statistic, as Blackwing is expected to lose. Scrap Orcust does have a 68% advantage to Blackwing's 32%. But who knows, in this game, I do think that the percentages are right. But again, this is the YCS Lockdown Tournament where anything can happen. Blackwing Gust the Black Blast is going to be special summoned from Blackwing's side. and then Hermat in the Dust as well as Bora are to follow. It looks like Blackwings have an amazing board using both Hermat and Gust for a Link summon. This is going to be pretty interesting to see what Blackwings can do in Master Rule 2020. This deck has so much advantage for it. Those monsters will be used into the summon of Raid Raptor Y-Strix. Now, Y-Strix will activate its effect to be able to special summon a Winged Beast, Dark Winged Beast monster to the side of the field. The monster of choice is probably going to be a Blackwing Zephyro. With Zephyros the Elite on the side of the field, both the Bora and the Zephyros can be used for an Exceed summon. And this deck is starting to look more like a Raid Raptor deck than a Blackwing deck. As there are no more Blackwing monsters on the side of the field, those two monsters will be used for the summon of Blackwing for Strix. Now, with 4 Strix on the side of the field, Blackwings will more than likely be able to go full combo if left uninterrupted. But I want to know something really special from you guys. Which one of these matches have been your favorite for this YCS Lockdown Tournament? Which one of these matches do you look forward to? And I still want to know your bracket, guys. I am giving away a mat for the players that were in the very beginning decided their bracket. If they gotten every single one of them right, then mat you go. Free mat for Imperium Duelist. And while we're here, if you guys are just looking to get an Imperium Duelist mat, this is the mat that you see right here is actually an Imperium Duelist mat. You can use the code CaliEffect 10 off to receive 10% off your entire purchase. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, with all this informational stuff, I'll just leave everything down below in the comment section. It will be the pinned comment, so you can find out the information on deck profiles, on the Discord, and everything in between with the Imperium Duelist and whatnot. So Blackwing is more like Black Tortoise. They're going to use the effect of 4 Strix to add a Blizzard, and that is not a legal move. They're going to have to retract that Blizzard and get a level 4 monster, as 4 Strix isn't level 4 or lower. It just says level 4 Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand. I'm thinking that Blackwings can go full combo. The real big question is, which one do they do? Do they go Infinite Negates with Apex Avian? Do they go the Buster Dragon route? Which lock would be more important? Well, in my humble opinion, Blackwing decks have been over-sensualized by going into the Apex Avian lock with Infinite Negates or even using Buster Dragon. I have to say, even though I did feel at one point in time that those locks should be addressed, they're actually rather lackluster in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. Just because you have the ability to go into these type of combos doesn't mean that it's always a good thing. It doesn't mean that it's always a beneficial thing, and it definitely isn't an instant win. Blackwings on the tier bracket have moved up, but I wouldn't say their tier 1 status even with being able to consistently Apex Avian lock. Mainly because there's just so many other ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh! There's so many facets into the game. It's not the most credible way to win. Y-Strix being able to set to their side of the field a Raid Raptor spell card. This time around, it's going to be the ability to special summon Cyber Dragon Infinity to their side of the field. But they're going to use 4 Strix and, of course, their Y-Strix for a Link summon. This monster is going to make the Samorg Bird of Divinity. Just because, you know, you don't play the Super Lock doesn't mean that you don't summon Samorg of Divinity to your side of the field. It's free. Samorg, I'm sorry, Bird of Sovereignty is going to be summoned, not Bird of Divinity. And Blackwings are definitely taking their time trying to sequence a way to make a good board against Orcust. Reasonably, it is a powerful deck. Rank Up Magic Soul Shade Force is now going to be activated. That will special summon Raid Raptor 4 Strix to the side of the field, but a DD Crow is met to the Raid Raptor. Whoa, that is crazy. Cyber Dragon Infinity won't be summoned to the side of the field. Samorg Bird of Sovereignty will still be able to special summon a negate, but Blackwing Bora is going to be normal summoned. The deck has not committed a single normal summon, has it? Yeah, it's not. It's going to special summon Zephyros the Elite to the side of the field, taking 400 damage, but also allowing them to special summon Bora back to their side of the field. It's kind of crazy that this deck never normal summoned. Now, both of those monsters could be used for a Link into Union Carrier to go into the Infinite Negate board. But I don't know, man. This deck actually is a lot better than what people think if you take out those Infinite Negate situations. This strategy can actually go into an Abyss Dweller rather easily since you play so many level 4 monsters And that can put decks like Orcust at a huge disadvantage. I mean, Infinite Negates is easier to break because, you know, the monster will just get into attack position, the little bird, then you can just attack over to continue to play. But the Abyss Dweller completely prevents you from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! At some point in times. So Abyss Dweller is going to be made. Blackwing's thinking about the position of Abyss Dweller. First in defense position. Now it looks like they're going to switch and go into attack position. This is actually a pretty decent spot to be in, as if Abyss Dweller was in defense position, monsters like Dark Grepher would be able to just swing right over the Abyss Dweller but with attack. At least the Dark Grepher will have to be sacrificed in order for the Abyss Dweller to get off the field. So I think this might be the end of Blackwing's turn, and Abyss Dweller some more of Sovereignty and a Miss Valley Apex Avian. Or because I don't think a Barrier Statue Wind would be the best idea. One card face down, then triggering the effect of their Simorg of Sovereignty to special summon Miss Valley Apex Avian. That's going to be the end of their turn, passing it right back to Scrap Orcust. Now Orcust is going to have to play the slow grind. Abyss Dweller can prevent those monsters or those graveyard effects from being activated. They're going to use Reinforcement of the Army. Now, I wouldn't say that this is a mistake or a misplay or anything. Abyss Dweller is actually going to activate to the effect of Reinforcement of the Army, but it's not like Orcust could have taken advantage of them not using Abyss Dweller in standby phase. That Reinforcement of the Army is going to probably find itself into a Dark Grepher. And Dark Grepher can be normal summoned on the field. And this is the exact situation why you put Abyss Dweller into attack position. Dark Grepher is going to be special summoned by discarding Orcust Nightmare. And if another Nightmare monster can follow, while they can't use those graveyard effects, those Orcust monsters can still be able to get some type of advantage, maybe, if you can get some banished machines. But no, it looks like Dark Grepher is just going to crash into the Abyss Dweller. Really, really beneficial for Blackwings, even though they did lose the Dweller. They're not going to lose it without a price. Orcust won't be able to follow up with any outrageous plays, as Apex Avian does negate the activation of effects. Again, they just be special summoned. Orcust is going to pass its turn, but as you can see, the Simorg Bird is going to use its effect to be able to special summon a Winged Beast monster from the deck to the side of the field. Orcust going over that Simorg to verify. It looks like Abora is going to be the follow-up play. Now, the big thing is Blackwings, can they force this game 3 by putting enough damage on the board currently? That's going to be really important. If they can, we're getting close to that game 3. Blackwings have a very good chance. I think that it's a little better than what some people may think. They still haven't summoned Blackwing Full Armor Master, but it's okay. They're going to special summon Christodon, activate the effect of Creeping Darkness to banish 2 Blackwing monsters. That could find an Oster, but I think that's going to be enough for Scrap Orcust to see, to take it to game 3. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see how this game 3 is going to unravel. Orcust, of course, is going to have the opportunity to go first. They're going to go ahead and Allure of Darkness. They're going to procure 2 more cards to their hand. And Allure of Darkness is actually really good, as they're going to banish the Orcust symbol skeleton. They're going to follow up with Orchestrated Return to be able to send from their hands to the Graveyard World Legacy World 1, so they can make a Galtea provided that they have an additional monster. Using the effect of Foolish Burial, it looks like it's going to be followed up with an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Orcust have no other plays after that. All they needed was a monster to be able to summon to their side of the field. They're going to set a card face down and pass their turn. Talk about dead brick. As Blackwing is going to start off with Gus, the Black Blast, to their side of the field, and then normal summon a Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, special summon Bora the Spear, and now use Gus and Zephyro for a Link summon. They're going to be able to pop off with their combos. They're going to make Wade Raptor, Y-Strix, and no, it looks like an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring is going to follow, but a Cold by the Grave is going to be activated in response. This is exciting. This is amazing. Blackwings is going to be able to continue on with their combo sequence. They're going to special summon Christodon to their side of the field. Blackwings looking for that upset. They can now use both of those monsters for an Exceed summon onto their Y-Strix, but not before using Zephyros, or 4 Strix, not before using Zephyros to bounce to inflict 400 damage to themselves, and then special summon that Bora back to their side of the field. So now that Bora is on their side of the field and they have 3 additional monsters on top of the Y-Strix, they can start with those Exceed summoning plays. I think that the Zephyros and the Chris would be used, but no, it looks like it's going to be the Bora this time around. Those monsters can be used for an Exceed summon. You guys can already see that Y-Strix coming around. That's going to give them another Blackwing monster from their deck to their hand. Maybe the Bora was the better idea, as if they add another Bora from their deck to their hand, they don't control a Bora, so they can just go ahead and special summon it. Blackwing now detaching the Zephyros. They won't be able to use the effect of Zephyros again for the rest of the duel, but they'll be able to add that second winged beast monster that they need to their hand to continue off with their plays. They're going to add another Bora from the hand, so yes, it looks like that was the better idea. And they're going to be able to use Y-Strix to set the Soul Shade Force from their decks to their side of the field as well. So a Cyber Dragon Infinity could follow against Orcust, and they could be in a really, really bad spot if this combo is going to pop off. Spell summoning Bora the Spear to their side of the field. It looks like they're going to link off their 4-Strix, or their 4-Strix and their Y-Strix. That's going to make the Samorg monster that is feared by all. Now, under the current circumstance, Samorg wouldn't be able to summon Apex Avian because there are 2 slots being used, meaning that they can only summon a 6. But that face down card is going to be activated. It is going to be a Soul Shade Force to spell summon the Raid Raptor, paying half of their life points. That will be used for an Exceed summon into that Cyber Dragon Infinity. But no, it looks like a late DD Crow is going to be activated, but it's going to be responded with a Cold by the Grave. Oh, whoa. Scrap Orcust having all of its hopes and dreams shut out by double Call by the Grave. This could be the upset that we have been looking for inside of this tournament. Cyber Dragon Infinity is going to summon itself to the side of the field. That is another negation. Then they still have 2 level 4 monsters that can be used. Those can be followed up for an Abyss Dweller, which it looks like Blackwing is going to do. That and an Apex Avian could be the dagger into Orcust. How could this have happened? We didn't even get to be able to play the Eternity Code cards just yet. It would have been exciting to see Orcust into the latter rounds, but with an Abyss Dweller, a Cyber Dragon Infinity, a Samorg, and an Apex Avian special summon to the side of the field, it's going to be really hard for Scrap to get back into this game. As scrappy as the deck is, Abyss Dweller is going to be activated in the standby phase. And it looks like Orcust is going to be giving it up, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. Blackwings doing the impossible. The upset that no one ever seen, and advancing into the next round. They'll be playing against Heroes in round 2. This was an exciting lockdown game, and I am excited to present you guys even more games. Of course, go ahead and like that video up and let us know what you think down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are staying safe and having an amazing day like I have.